Hello, this is Katie with Homeschool Chat, Preschool Edition. And today is the third video for preparing for the preschool year. So what I'm going to start to do today is talk about colors, matching, patterns, snack time, and at the end we're going to really quickly run through if you're already doing school, the best way to keep going, right? Okay, so for colors, the question is ways to teach colors. And of course, there are a lot of ways. What you might want to do, so with each activity change that you have for your preschooler, you may want an attention getter or not. It's up to you. But an attention getter is something that truly gets the child's attention right at the very beginning. And with colors, you can have an attention getter if you want to talk about colors for just a little bit. They're preschoolers, so you will probably talk about colors from 5 minutes to maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know if you would actually want to do 10 minutes, maybe, if the child has focus enough for that. So I think in actual preschools that have a lot of kids, they probably do 10 minutes. So one of the attention getters that you can do is you can do songs, and you can do a little like 5-minute skit or show from YouTube. Both songs and YouTube skits are very cool. So I wrote some things down. I found some things earlier, and I will let you know what they are. So one of them that I found is called Look at the Colors I Can See, and it is by abcmouse.com. abcmouse.com is a curriculum, so you might want to actually look into that, but it has a bunch of YouTube stuff that's free, and it has ABC Mouse TV as well. Anyway, it's abcmouse.com. Early Learning Academy is what it's called. There's another song called The Colors Song, and it is also by abcmouse.com. I weeded through a lot of songs that I just didn't think would be great. So those two songs I just absolutely loved. And then I went to a Sesame Street skit on YouTube, and it was Sesame Street Elmo's World on colors. Now they have several. They have quite a few, and a lot of what they have is, we're finding the color blue. The one that I found is called Sesame Street Colors Elmo's World, and it's on the Sesame Street YouTube channel. Now, the fourth thing that I found, it isn't a song either, but I thought it was a pretty good show. They have really, really long shows on this site I'm about ready to tell you about, but this one I found was about 5 minutes, and it's called Color Wheels, and it's a BBC channel on YouTube. So how I found that, I looked under Color Wheels, and it says full episode, season 1, episode 27, learn colors, kids cartoons, and color blocks is what you look up. So color blocks is one word, and color for all of this program is spelled COLOUR, because it's a BBC channel and they're Europe. So, but I think that you will be pleased with that if you check that out. So other ways to teach colors. You can do it through art projects. You can do it through school projects. I believe my children did a lot of their things through workbooks. Workbooks are wonderful. I really recommend Scholastic Success. So workbook pages, books and stories, you can go to your bookstore and find books on colors. See what you like. And remember, when you're searching for something, if you're bored, the child's going to be bored. And remember that the attention span for a child is 2 to 3 times their age. So now, and it varies, right? But for a preschooler that's 2, you're looking at about 5 minutes, right? So don't be surprised if they lose their attention span in 5 minutes. Let's see. Well, and when you're reading a book, if you turn the page, it's a whole new thing. So you got 5 minutes, right? If it's interesting. Demonstrations, another way to do to teach colors. So what you might do is gather things from your house, like red scissors or a white bowl or a blue box or an orange, which is orange. And what you might even want to do is make it into a thing. For instance, you could have share and tell time based upon colors. So your child could run around the house trying to find colors and then sit down and share with you what the thing is and what color it is. So those are ways that you can teach colors, as well as video games, board games, and you can make up games, right? Okay, so before we go on to the next subject, I have a share and tell. So here are a few things that my children learned colors on. So this is just a board box that we got as a set, and it's a Disney one, and it's favorite colors, and it has one picture on there with that color, and I think it says, is it red? No, thank you, says Pooh. So each thing, is it green? That's not it, says Pooh. So you go through and you identify the colors as you're reading the story. Kind of cool. The other thing that we did was we made a book. I have an older daughter, and then I had another one that was in preschool, and my older daughter made this book. So it's just construction paper and crayons. So she did blue, and then she did an eye, and she did the sky, and she did water, and she colored them, and then she wrote the names of the items, because obviously preschoolers need to become familiar with words. So another color would be yellow. She did the sun, a flower, and cheese, and then she wrote the names down because preschoolers need to become familiar with words. So that's something that you can do. You can make more than one of these if you want to. The other thing that I just love, I really do love the workbooks. Kids like to do things. So a lot of the video games are so much fun, but a variety just keeps them interested and stimulated. So this is a Scholastic workbook that's Jumpstart. And it's Jumpstart Pre-K Colors, Shapes, and Sizes. And this is a game. And the rules to the game go like this. Start at the first color square, put your finger on it. Can you name it? So the first color square is green. So you would have your child point to it and say it's green, right? Then move your finger to the next color square and name it too. Keep going until you've won the pot of gold. So they keep naming their colors until they're at the pot of gold. And this is very appropriate for preschoolers and very fun for preschoolers as well. Now, if you have a whole class of 30 kids, you're going to have to figure out a different way of doing that. But one kid at a time, it's awesome. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is matching, because matching is one of the skills that preschoolers learn, and they continue on in kindergarten and the lower elementary ages. So with matching, ways to teach matching, again, our workbooks, highlights.com. Check that out because they have some really cool things there, and they have, I believe they have workbooks that are matching and what's the other thing? Patterns, things like that. So workbooks are an option. Games are an option, just like the one that we showed here, right? games you make up, board games, video games, those kinds of things. And then the next thing is patterns, how to teach patterns. Again, workbooks, games, and video games on patterns. So I also have some things to share. So this is another workbook, and it is a Scholastic Jumpstart as well for kindergarten, but it'll give you an example of what this is. So this is patterns, and it's a little advanced for a preschooler, but on the, I think it's on your left side. Ha! On this side with my hand, there is a pattern. Green, red, blue, green, red, and so the next color would be blue. So your child would color in the pattern, right? Then the next line is a carrot, a picture of a carrot. The carrot is down, the carrot is up. The carrot is down, the carrot is up. And so then you would draw that over here. Now the next one is shapes. And then you just color the shapes because that needs to be the pattern that continues on, right? With the correct colors. This also is an example of pattern. They have, what is this? Which comes next in the pattern? Circle it. So what they have is little animals. So they've got an ape, a bear, an ape, a bear, an ape. And then they want to know if it's a bear or an ape over here to continue the pattern. And then this is numbers. So they say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. What comes next? So it would be 2. So these are all found in workbooks, and you can find them in video games for preschoolers. Oh, let's see what's next. Oh, yes. So this is the third video in starting your preschool year. And if you need to get started rather quickly, then I would just like to spend a moment telling you how should your preschool day look. So your preschool day, the basic plan, should be 2.5 to 3 hours, unless you have a really good reason for making it longer, because children get tired, especially preschool children. They get tired. It's doable, but you know. On average, I would say 10 minutes per activity, because remember, it's 2 to 3 times the age of the child. That is their average attention span. And for your activities, your 10 minutes per activity, you need to realize there's going to be a transition time. Now, how you deal with this transition time, we'll deal with it in one of the later videos. It just is up to you. But there is going to be, it's not going to be 10 minutes, the child is here, let's walk over here, and we're going to do 10 minutes with this. It's not going to work like that, because there's just going to be a transition time. As it becomes more of a routine, it'll get more, it'll work better. So let's see. So your goal, if you are working with workbooks, is to get through your workbook, right? And if you have something that's online, that works too, online games and things. I suggest that you break it up, because a child being in front of the computer the entire time is a little rough, you know, and not super healthy. So let's see. Your basic planned preschool day should include a snack if it's a 2.5 to 3 hour class, or I should say class day, right? It should include some workbook times, but you can break it up. It should include art and writing time. It should include story time. It should include music time. Some places don't have music time every day, but music, I'm going to explain this later, is very, very good developmental tool. There should be outside playtime, usually to learn, which I think we've talked about that, coordination, things like that, just the child needs to kind of learn some skills, right? But it's going to be fun, and they're going to play, and it's going to be great, and they're not going to know that they're learning. And also inside playtime to learn. And a lot of that is mimicking real-time things, so like a dress-up area or a pretend kitchen, something like that. Blocks even, right? So that is all that I have for today. I hope I've answered all of your questions that you have in your head. I will continue this series on. There's a whole lot more to it. So have a blessed day.